Your life will forever be changed after watching this video. Hello crafters! Okay, so maybe your life won't actually be completely changed after watching this video, but hopefully your life will be just a little bit easier. So this idea, actually I discovered whilst browsing through Pinterest, and I saw the little picture of the graphic and I was like, oh my goodness, this makes so much sense, it is so smart, I have to try this. So I did, and it actually worked really well. So I thought, hey, why not show this to my crafters so that way more people can benefit from this awesome crafting hack. So today, as you saw from the title, it's a way to tie knots besides beads without getting that space. So maybe you're working on a jewelry project and you are stringing beads onto a string and tying knots in between them, but perhaps for whatever reason, you need the knot to be right up against the bead. Without fail, this always happens where you have this space between the bead and the knot. So basically what this method is it's a way to eliminate that space or at least greatly reduce it. And I played around with this with some different beads, some different kinds of string and ribbon, and I found that this hack is super helpful, particularly with small projects, because when you're tying knots with really fine twine like this and little bitty beads, our fingers are just too big to get those knots really close. So we're going to do this hack and you will be able to tie your knots right flush up against the bead with barely any space there. And what makes this hack possible is just a normal little sewing pin. So that's all you need. You need the little pin, you need some string, and you need some beads, and I will show you how to do this hack. Also, make sure to watch to the end of the video to learn how to get your chance at a shout out in one of my upcoming videos. Alright, so this is the look we're going for, where the knots are right up against the beads. So I have a bunch of little seed beads strung onto here, and the string that I'm using, it's a little bit stretchy, so that does make a bit of a difference, but you can still make it work, and it's kind of unfraying really badly at the end, but that's why I strung all my beads on from the get-go. So in this particular project, I'm going to slide my bead down, and I want to end up with a knot to the right of this bead that I just slid here, but I want to be flush up against the bead, because if I were to try to tie a knot by hand, odds are I'm going to end up with some space. Let me show you what I'm talking about. And when I pull it tight, I end up with a good bit of space right there. But you'll notice this bead right before it, it's right nestled tight. So this is the bead that I did using the technique I'm about to show. So I'll show it to you with this next bead. So I'll slide it down. And this is where the pin comes in. I want my knot to be right here. So I'm going to slide my pin through the twine right above the bead. So it's basically going to hold the bead in place. If whatever string you're using is multiply, meaning that it has a bunch of smaller pieces wrapped together, it's best if you can break through one of these, because if you go in between them, you might slide up and down with the pin. But if you can break through one with the tip of the pin, it'll hold it in place better. If you do find that it's kind of able to slide up and down, this time I was able to go through the actual parts of the string, so it's not able to slide up and down. But if it is sliding up and down, take it out and try running it through again. If you still can't get it, that's okay, just keep holding the pin as close to the bead as you can. But my pin is securely in place here. Alright, so I'm going to take my loop to the left and come behind the pin. So on the left side, I'm behind the pin. And then I'm going to cross over the front and go over the right side of the pin. So left side goes behind the pin, right side goes in front of it. And then to finish off this knot, I'm going to come from the back through the front of this loop up here. And now all that's left to do is cinch this knot up. I'm going to pull from both sides. Slide the knot right down there. And now I can pull my pin out. And look at how close those knots are to the bead. You might notice that as I was tightening the knot, I kept pushing against it. And so between the pin holding in place and pushing against it, that gets that knot right up against the bead. Let me show you one more time. I'll string another bead on. Alright, so let's do this one more time. I'm going to slide this bead where I want it to go, so I want it up against that knot from the previous one. And I'm going to slide my needle through so it's right up against the bead. Just like that. Now now it's time to tie our knot. So I'm going to come from the left, come behind the end of the needle, go to the right, and I'm going to go over top of my beads. So it looks like this. And go over the right side of my needle. And I'm going to feed this end through this top loop from back to front. Make sure that as you feed it through that this side stays in front of the pin. And now this is the basis for our knot, and I'm just going to cinch this side up. Once your knot is tight, pull up the needle, and now you can consistently get knots right up against the bead and not have gapping like this. Alrighty, now I've got this nice little string with these beads tied on here. Here's one more look at it. I honestly have no idea what I'm going to do with this. It's actually really cute. I like the way that the gold of the ribbon goes with the colors in the beads. So I have no idea what I'll do with this, but maybe I'll turn it into something. And hopefully this helps with some of your either jewelry or beading or whatever kind of projects you're working on where you're trying to get that knot really close to something and it just does not want to happen. So hopefully this hack was helpful to you. Alright, so as I mentioned earlier in this video, there is a way to get a shout out, and the reason I am doing this is because over the weekend I hit 1,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel, Crafters Autonomous. I'm like freaking out, so excited. I actually, right after I found out that I hit 1,000, I decided to go live. I was only live for like a minute and a half because I didn't actually want anybody watching me live because I had no idea what I was doing. But anyways, I got on there to just say thank you so much to everybody who has subscribed to my channel and who keeps supporting my videos. It really means a lot to me. So I definitely want to express again in this video, thank you so much everyone who has helped me reach 1,000 subs. So to kind of celebrate, I thought I would do some shout outs in my upcoming videos. The way to get a chance at a shout out is you have to leave a comment down below and you have to answer this question. What is your favorite animal? Really simple question, has nothing to do with crafting, but it's kind of a way that I can get to know my followers more, and also you will have the chance at a shout out in my next video as my way of saying thank you so much for supporting me on my YouTube adventure. So get out there, get crafting, have an awesome day, and stay safe. Happy crafting! Alright, so normally I do something kind of funny or humorous here at the end, but I'm going to make it a little more serious today. As you probably know, Hurricane Florence came through the east coast of the United States and just absolutely wiped out and decimated some areas along the coast. And so that's very near and dear to me because while I was not in the path, fortunately it slowed way down before I got here, it's still impacting people in my area and my community. So I'd like to take these last few moments of this video to ask that you pray for those people who have been negatively impacted by Hurricane Florence. And I would also ask you to consider donating for relief for Hurricane Florence, whether through the American Red Cross or through an organization like Samaritan's Purse. So definitely think about it and keep those people that have been impacted in your prayers.